After months of review and consideration on how to cut $43 million annually, recommendations proposed by the Spending Cuts Task Force have finally been released.
It's not a popular thing to do.
And according to Acting Governor Ray Tenorio, it takes a lot of courage to advance these ideas, but says frankly, the recommendations are rather restrained.
We need to make sense of what we're doing. A lot of people have contributed substantially to this progress report and the final recommendations. But there are other recommendations I think that will follow.
The recommendations include an early retirement program that is estimated to cut $15 to $35 million in annual spending, extension of the amortization period to pay down the unfunded liability by 10 years with $28.1 million in cuts, reduction in holiday pay cutting over $4 million, nearly $3 million in cuts through the elimination of GFD non-productive pay plus reduction of GFD overtime to 6 hours, elimination of GFD incentive pay, elimination of annual leave cash out, reduction of paternity leave to industry standards, and a cap on leave sharing to 480 hours per occasion, limit to medical reasons. And while it appears that GFD took several cuts, Tenorio says they were not targeted.
None of the public safety agencies are being targeted. As a matter of fact, the governor in the release indicated that hazardous pay was not recommended for change at this time, but it needs to be made part of the base compensation.
Among the list of recommendations the governor did not approve include elimination of hazardous pay, elimination of night differential pay, elimination of nursing weekend and certification differential pay, and elimination of DRT 10% premium pay. And according to Speaker Judy Wampat, she says the cuts are now an issue the legislature and the governor's fiscal team need to meet and further discuss.
When you're talking about something as major as this, I think this is something that, everybody needs to sit and talk about.
But she realizes that cuts are being made at a time when the government is facing a difficult financial situation.
And there's several things that I know that the governor started to do to address that, with reorganization, consolidation, to avoid redundancy. And those are, first steps, of course, and, further, steps may be taken.
Ultimately, they both agree that any way to avert the need for layoffs is the right thing to do.
We don't want to lay off or furlough or otherwise remove people. We need more people working in the government, but we simply can't afford to continue to do the things which legislatively don't make sense.